Well, hello, folks. How you doing? How is everybody this evening? Well, we got a few people in the room here. Hi, Coco, McRae Family Homestead, Amber and John, planting seeds for life, retired and prepping, Southern Ark. Good evening. Wonderful, blessed life, and I'm probably missing a few. So, I decided to open the can of worms tonight and talk about royalty-free music, images, videos, which of course leads into copyright laws, which leads into can you use it, can you not use it, some of the myths of the 16 or use less than 15 seconds, you can use whatever you want. Well, that's just not the way it is in most worlds, especially YouTube. Having said that,
Amber said hi, Uncle Daryl.
having said that, if you do use something, you may not get caught. That may be the case. There are particular circumstances where you can use copyrighted material without paying for it, and that just, again, that's very, very rare. We had a guest on our show last night that has a legitimate reason for using a lot of copyrighted material and gets by with it under the fair use legislation. And that's Full Spectrum Survival. He does a almost daily news show. And of course, he references copyrighted material from various news organizations around the world. And he does show their information in his videos. But he is using it under fair use because he's getting information from it, he's making comments on it, and it's getting into stuff that lawyers just love to have a heyday with. So, without waiting a whole lot longer here, let's just take a quick look at some definitions here and kind of go from there. Please ask questions. I am not an attorney. I'm not crooked enough to be an attorney. I think I said, can I get in trouble saying that? I don't know. But anyway.
Wonderful, blessed life. Does anyone know what makes YouTube demonetize a video for not suitable advertisers? I don't think anybody knows.
We're going to talk about that in just a little bit. I can tell you this. It doesn't have to be the video. It doesn't have to be the title. It could be a keyword that you've used. It can even be mention of somebody maybe YouTube doesn't, where you're not necessarily agreeing with YouTube's platform, like how to make money on Amazon or something like that. That's that can strike it. But anyway, let's take a look over here. So if you Google the term, what is royalty free? And royalty free refers to the right to use copyrighted material or intellectual property without the need to pay royalties or license fees for each use per each copy or volume sold of some time period for use or sales. So, in a nutshell, if you're using somebody else's work, they legally own the work, and this is in the United States. I'm not at all going to speak about other countries. I'm not. That's way too big can of worms if you want to start talking international copyright laws and things like that. But if you scroll down through this Google page, you're going to find things from Ask Shutterstock, what does royalty free mean? And of course, Shutterstock is a website that has a lot of, to use the term, stock images that you could use perhaps in your videos. All the definitions of royalty-free image, royalty-free music, royalty-free, copyright-free. If it says royalty-free or copyright-free, depending upon how it's licensed, you may or may not be able to use this in the production of one of your videos. If you want to use an image, the absolute safest way for you to put images in your video is to take your Kodak or Polaroid or whatever brand camera you might have and go take your own pictures. Then they're your pictures. They become yours. You actually have a copyright on them, an implied copyright. So if you take your own pictures, yeah, you can use them. But if you just go out to Google and look at images of robins, that doesn't mean you can use any of those pictures that come up as a robin or as a certain dog or of a scenery or sunset or anything like that.
Planting seeds for life, so it, royalty free, only refers to a time period?
It can. It can refer to a time period. It can refer to a single use. It can refer to only monetized or non-monetized. If you're doing it for and you're not getting paid for it, then they say it's okay. But if you're going to make 25 cents off of it, well, they want 27 cents of it. So that's just, unfortunately, this is what the country has evolved into today. It's sue happy, and well, money cranks that. So it can all be disputed in courts. But in the meantime, if you've created something, very, very, very few videos on YouTube pay enough money that you could afford to pay an attorney to say, yes, I can do this. Chances are very good there's nobody here in this room that has ever had one or will have one. I mean, that's just a fact. And so let's go on. Let's talk about copyrights just a little bit. We'll say, what is a copyright? A copyright is the exclusive legal right given to the originator or an assignee to print, publish, perform, film, or record literary, artistic, or musical material, and to authorize others to do the same. In the case of, let's just say, music, a lot of musicians, even though they have created the song, they have given up their rights to that song to a publishing company. So the musician could say, sure, go ahead and use my stuff. Or it could be worse. He could say, give me $100, you can use everything I ever made. But the problem is the publishing company has no end in that. They're the ones that have the rights because that musician probably signed them off. They're the ones that have the buck in the game, so to speak. So that's the ones you have to get the okay from. It gets very, very deep and very, very complicated. I mentioned fair use earlier. In fair use, and this is in U.S. copyright law, the doctrine that brief excerpts of copyright material may, under certain circumstances, be quoted verbatim for purposes such as criticism, news reporting, teaching, and research without the need for permission from or payment to the copyright holder. So, based upon that very general statement, you could probably use a short clip of a popular song if you talked about it, analyzed it, criticized it, put your spin on it. That might get you by on a fair use thing, but nobody's going to do this in their video. In a nutshell, and this is from copylaw.com. And if anybody would like these links, just ask, or you can just Google them. I mean, I just have a very, very brief selection of different articles here. But let's go down in this. It says, when do I need to ask permission? If your work contains borrowed material and you have not obtained permission from the owner of the work, it can only be used if the material is in the public domain. In other words, it's out of copyright. The material is immune from copyright protection, or the proposed use is fair use. Well, fairness is in the eye of the beholder if we go on down a little bit. And again, skipping through a lot of the mumbo jumbo. I'm not into all the technical terminology. The purposes and character of the use, including whether the use is primarily commercial in nature, the nature of the copyright work being borrowed from, the amount and importance of the portion used in relation to the copyrighted work as a whole, the effect of the potential market or value of the copyrighted work. Put another way, courts may ask, does the use supersede the market for the original? So, again, this all boils down into the attorney's playground, where generally the person with the most money is going to win. That's my opinion. I'm not saying there's not always the case, but generally the person with the deeper pockets has the advantage in any type of a legal situation like this. It's not like going out and creating a physical crime or something, but well, there's new rules for using public domain material. I don't even want to go into all of this. All I'm trying to point out to you here is that you can't just go out and grab photos that belong to other people. You can't go out and grab clips that belong to other people. You can't go out and borrow music. Say, well, I'm only playing 15 seconds of it. It's okay, because it's not. And that's what I searched here. Can you use less than 15 seconds of a song? How long can a sample be before you need copyright permission? This starts to become absolutely nuts. Absolutely nuts. Let's. This is from Was there a question?
Not on what you're talking about.
Okay. There is a channel called Video Creators out there. Excellent channel. A lot of advice in that channel. They're very tough. I'm going to play just the short beginning of this video.
Hey guys, my name is Tim Schmoyer, and just like we do every Thursday, I'm going to take a question from one of you guys and do my best to answer it to help you out with the audiences and the channels that you are growing here on YouTube. This question is from Christine Does Drama on Twitter, and she tweeted me and asked this. You probably get this question a lot, but is it true that you can use 30 seconds of any song in your YouTube video? Christine, I know that is like a common thing that a lot of people talk about and believe to be true, but it is absolutely 100% not true. Whoever tells you that is clearly not familiar with copyright law, and you can definitely get into trouble even just for using 1 second of a copyrighted music or sound effect or anything that doesn't actually belong to you. However, instead of just leaving you hanging with that big disappointment, someone from the video creators community here, B. Chambers from the Alloy 7 video YouTube channel, is here with us to tell you how you can use copyrighted content, whether it's music or gaming footage or movie clips, whatever the case may be, how you can actually use those legally and be in the clear on your YouTube channel. Here he is.
Hey, what's up, fellow creators? My name is B. Chambers from Alloy.
Betting the farm.
Okay, I do have a question here, so I stopped this. So if I were recording in the shop and the radio's on while recording, that's not okay. That is not okay.
They dinged me for it.
Before we had the channel, Two Family Homestead, Sherry had done some videos on her phone and made a scenery type video, just driving down the road.
Yeah.
And the radio was on. Well, there was no monetization or anything like that. She just uploaded it. There was no editing. There was no nothing. But the radio was on in the background. YouTube just deleted it. It wasn't like, hey, you got to take this down. It wasn't like, hey, we're demonetizing you. It's like it's gone. They just took it away.
Alloy 7 video, and I'm mostly
the
known
lady
for
also
doing
asked a question with that. If you search Google for free graphics or free music and find it, is that okay? Just reference web address?
Okay. And we're jumping ahead here a little bit. You're going to get into like Creative Commons. But all of these websites, in the first place, make sure it's a relatively legitimate website. Sizable, let me put it that way. Look closely at their procedures for using the material presented there. There are a lot of them where you have to join the site. You have to pay a fee for what you download, which then gives you permission to use that material in some way. In some cases, you can use it even if you want to enable monetization. But that's another thing to check. They may say, well, yeah, you can use this, but this is just for your own personal use. So that's no good. Probably everybody in here is a creator. Probably everybody in here has enabled monetization on their channels, because let's face it, we would all like to get a little something back. And it's not big money. I can say none of us make big money on any of this. So, well, thanks, Tanks, for subscribing. We appreciate that. I don't even know if they're in the chat here. That could be looking at some other videos or something.
No.
So, anyway. Oh, Wonderful Blessed Life. How do some of the bigger YouTubers use famous movie or cartoon clips in their videos? They get away with it.
Yeah, they sure do.
They get away with it.
B-Lady wants to know if the graphics from Word are okay to use. Oh, Tanks is here.
Well, thank you for you for subscribing. All right. Well, one that comes to mind is Off the Ranch. He a lot of times uses a little cartoon clip, something funny, inserts a very short piece in. There's a lot of them that do that.
Well, Planting Seeds for Life said I paid the fee, and YouTube still came back and said that some of those songs were not usable.
Well, okay, and that's another thing to discuss here. With some of these sites that say, "Oh yeah, use our music, use our free music or whatever," do they actually have the rights to do that? They may not. You know, they have your money. They don't care. You paid them $29 for 10 songs or something, or $3 a song, or they had it on some fire sale where you get to download 25 songs for $25 or something like that. And they say, "Oh yeah, sure, go use them." Well, they may be okay for something personal. You want to do your kid's birthday or something like that. Nobody sees it but your family, aunts and uncles, and the neighbor guy across the road or something. Well, nobody's going to see it. Nobody would care. You know, a situation like that, if you're just creating something, let's say for your family, that you're going to print to a CD, perhaps, I mean, at that point, in my opinion, all bets are off. Use whatever you want, whatever song you want, whatever you want. The only people that's going to see it is immediate family. It's not going to get published. You're not going to try to make any money from it. That's where you can get into trouble. So let me play a little bit more of this.
Reviews, gaming editorials, and also tutorials for people on how to run a gaming channel here on YouTube. So the first step in monetizing the videos that you create that use material that's copyrighted by someone else is very simply to determine who the copyright owner is. And in the realm of games, movies, and TV, that's usually pretty easy. With games, it's usually the game's developer or the game's publisher that owns the copyright. When it's not, usually a Google search will figure that out for you, or even Wikipedia. I've also done some legwork on alloy7.com. I'll have a link to the specific page in the video description that shows you all of the copyright owners that I reached out to and what their answers were. When it comes to movies and TV shows, it's usually very easy to determine that, because the people that own the movie or the TV show, it's found on their website. When you step into the realm of music, it gets a little bit more complicated, and this is actually why I don't recommend trying to use other people's copyrighted music in your videos. Let's say a bunch of artists came together and made the song that you're trying to use in your video. Who owns the copyright? Is it the record label? Both artists may come from a different record label. Do the writers, do the composers, do the people performing the song own the rights? A lot of times that's nigh impossible to determine. And to take it a step further, when you start talking about content ID matches, take for instance the album that I put out about 2 years ago. Even if I gave you written permission today, signed by me, that said you could use every song on my album in your video, I can guarantee you that you would get a content ID match. From cdbaby.com, that's who I went through to publish and to distribute my album. You'd have permission from me, but then you'd still have to deal with CD Baby in your back end, which means you'd have to get in touch with me and then get me to deal with CD Baby. It's a pain. So unless you're just really brave or for whatever reason just can't get away from using somebody's music in your video, I'd recommend that you just leave it alone. Okay, now that you've determined who the copyright owner is, the second step, and I'll admit that this second step is more related to gaming video creators than anyone else, but the second step is to go to the copyright owner's website, look to see if they have a terms of use that gives you permission to make and monetize YouTube videos. A great example of this is Microsoft and Activision Blizzard. Microsoft, in their terms of use online, gives you permission to make videos using their content as long as they're not offensive. but not to monetize the content. Activision Blizzard's website, on the other hand, gives you permission not only to make the videos, but also to monetize it. So if you're a gaming video creator that's trying to do something with an Activision Blizzard game, your work's done. It's right there online. I actually have links where you can find that on the alloy7.com website. But look around. If you found a game that maybe isn't on my website that you want to use, see if there's a terms of use out there that answers the mail. Okay, so you've determined who your copyright owner is. And in step 2, let's say you were not able to find any terms of use that gave you the permission you were looking for. Your third step in that case is going to be to find the best way to contact the copyright owner. And this is usually going to be through their website. They'll either have an email address to their PR or legal teams. That's the one you'll want to look for. Or they'll have an online form that you can fill out and direct to their legal or PR team, or maybe it's just a generic form that you fill out and send off to them. And that's usually what happens in the gaming world. I've found that with movies and TV shows, say like Universal Studios, if you go to Universal Studios, they actually have a website dedicated to people like us who are trying to use their footage for commercial means. And you sign up on that website, you fill out the necessary forms, get access, and it's almost like an Amazon shopping cart. You can go in and pick, I'd like to get permission to use Jaws footage in my video. You check out, and that's where I start talking about things like it may cost money. I've not gone all the way through that process, so I don't know if it costs or how much it costs, but that's the way a lot of the movie studios do it. And once you have all that knocked out, your next step is to actually contact your copyright owner via email, via the online form, or via the a la carte shopping line on universalstudios.com, and tell them that you'd like to use footage in your videos to put on YouTube and potentially to monetize that video using YouTube's partner program. I will have a link where you can find the email that I actually use to reach out to copyright owners. It's been very successful over the course of time that I've been using it. But you can take that email and you can slice it and dice it, do whatever you need to do with it to make it.
The guy explains it very well, and I hope that everybody kind of picked up on everything he was saying. When it comes to YouTube and creating your own videos, and we're going to say editing, producing, tips and tricks. The best group of people out there are the gamers. I mean, that may sound a little strange, but it was through gaming websites that I learned how to embed the chat on the screen in the fashion that I do. There's very few homesteading sites that even attempt to do that, or a lot of other sites. But we do it so you can follow along on a rerun of our live streams. We find it to be very advantageous. Okay. Okay, Tanks. I see you have a question here.
It's nothing to do with video editing.
Yeah, it doesn't have anything to do with video editing.
But I'm answering it.
That's our topic. Sherry is answering that, and if you want to learn about homesteading, I can tell you right now, there's a great group of people in here that you can learn. Maybe not everything you need to know, but an awful lot.
Benton, Chad, if I'm wearing headphones and in my singing or whistling, is that okay?
I'll give you an opinion. I'm not telling you it's okay. I'm not telling you it is okay or not okay. But my opinion is, if you are performing a song, especially you're in front of the camera and people can see, well, this is you doing it, chances are, in my opinion, it's fine. Now, having said that, years and years ago, I worked with a band that performed at nightclubs, bowling alleys, weddings, whatever. Just a small band. They were all members of the Musicians Union. This gave them a right to reproduce in their own style, if you would, today's music. Music industry has always been very very touchy and grabby on dollars received. The producers always stole from the creators and the originators of the music. Whoever had the biggest buck in making it go out and become popular, they and I suppose rightfully so. They're very money hungry about it. They want to protect their work. They don't want to do it to just let somebody else benefit or profit off of it. And it goes a step further. I mean, this goes outside of making YouTube videos. In a store, for example, it's not legal for them to play a radio in the store. They can't just go out and buy the latest album and play it across their PA system. There's a fee to do that. They have to have, what's it called, Muzak? Is that what it was called?
The elevators, yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Like I say, this is not just YouTube.
B-Lady's asking, what is that YouTube partner program?
YouTube partner program. I guess, I mean, we're a YouTube partner. So I guess I'm not real sure that I understand what it is you're asking.
And then part-time Permies, but no matter the permission you get, how do you communicate that permission with YouTube/AdSense to let them know you have their permission?
Ah. Okay. Well, in the first place, that permission generally needs to be displayed either in the comment area or on the video itself, either in some sort of a rolling credit or something like that. And you will see that in a lot of things. Good example, I just watched a Wrangler Star video here, I think it was yesterday. And right at the very beginning, right across the center of the screen, it told who the performer or the artist was of the music he was using within his video, and that he had permission. And this was not in the credits, this was on the video. So it was obviously embedded within. If you have it just in the description, which in many cases is good enough to just have it the description. The problem with that is that description is that's not part of the video. That's not directly attached to it. Let me give you a good example here. Okay, this is a channel called, just named it after their names, Paul and Kathy Short. They are out of Canada. The guy runs a repair shop in the back of his home. It's I find it to be a very interesting video. They have a lot of subscribers. They do some very nice stuff. But and I'm just going to grab one of these at random here. And of course, we have the mandatory ad here. Okay, that's his intro. When you get to the end of the video, I may not be far enough. Copyright and royalty free music supplied by. Tell us the name of the music, where it's from. And he goes a step further. He says what cameras he uses, he's basically trying to cover all bases. So he goes to maybe the far extreme to make sure everything is covered. Wait, I can't use a pic that comes up as me? Are you sure it's you? And not your twin?
Oh, she has a twin.
Pick up a robin.
Oh, jeez. Oh, Lord.
I better keep my mouth shut. I was going to expound a little bit more, but this might get me into deeper trouble. So, okay. Some stairs have email in their channel because I have no time to do what you were asking.
I'm not. Coco wants to hear you sing.
No, you don't. Trust me, you do not. Thanks. If you would like to send us an email at tfamilyhomestead.com, I'll try to point you in some directions that I think you'll find very beneficial, and would be happy to do that. So it's twofamilyhomestead@gmail.com. Just identify yourself in the email if Tanks is not part of the email.
Aloha. That's what happened to me. This was on my original YouTube channel. Just doing a drive around of a local lake we have here in the reservoir. And I got out and it was just a beautiful spring day, and, doing this mostly for my sister and my nieces because they used to live here locally. And the radio was blaring and I didn't think to turn it down, and YouTube got me because I didn't even give it a thought about the radio, but yep. Tank's no problem. We're all new at one point.
Hi, Tawana Lynn. How are you? Yes, this is good night, everyone.
Maybe Renee has a curfew.
Okay, could be. So
I'll see you in a few weeks, Renee. Yeah, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got hit because I was in the store. You could hear the music in the background. Absolutely.
Yeah. Unless what have you done? You've turned down the sound or something when you edit it?
If there is obvious, let's say television, radio, or something going on in the background, but it's a piece of video that I want, I've gone so far as to just remove the sound from the video and just done a voiceover through that section. Or if you can put in some background music that mutes and disguises everything else, that's another way to do it.
Yep, strip the sound. Yep.
Yeah,
McAfee, I'm not doing an upgrade. Go away.
I have heard of that. You're the first person I've ever kind of semi-talked to here that has told me it's happened to them, but I read it in a blog somewhere where they said they just took the sound out of my video. So, but this thing that Paul and Kathy Short do on their videos, and they do this on every one. If you notice, I just grabbed it at random. That to me, I mean, they're just really showing that they're covering all their bases. They're saying where everything's from. They're doing it in a nice way. They're being informative. They're telling you what equipment they're using. Let's just go down and look in their description here. No. But if you followed this same sort of guideline, I'm sure that it would help to eliminate problems.
And I think this might have been what you were just talking about. Bob asks, is there any way to get rid of the background with editing? He means the music, which is what you were just talking about, right?
Okay, yes. Yes, there is. Depending upon what is there. Any music file can be manipulated. The editing tools in Filmora, which is primarily what we discuss here on Tuesday nights, and we haven't even mentioned the word yet tonight, but the audio editing within that is weak, but it's also easy. They've made it very simple. They've made it so that the average person can get respectable results without tons of time. Now, if you
did you monetize that, Robin? I thought you didn't monetize that one. And she has an awesome voice. Okay, go ahead.
I'm waiting to get hit for the Willow Creek singing in my video. I don't know. I mean, keep in mind, all these videos getting flagged by YouTube, they don't have enough employees to look at every video. They just don't. I mean, there's hours of videos being uploaded every minute.
Did you tell Chef Tovia that I'm a bubby?
I don't recall. I don't recall that I did that.
Yeah, you better cover your tush.
You just told everybody you were a bubby.
Well, yeah, put that in your pipe and smoke it. There we go.
So anyway.
Aloha quails, go ahead and put the link in now. It should let you do it. See, he's laughing.
Well, I see that.
There you go.
Okay. Well,
this is the one she wanted you to look at, I think.
Wants me to look at online here, or?
No, June, not yours.
Okay, let me Move this here. This is from the, this is the link that she sent. We detected your video has copyrighted audio that may affect its ability. You can fix this by removing a song below. Oh, you just sent me a picture.
Yeah, she wanted you to see what the verbiage was that they put there.
Okay, and so I guess I have a question for you at this point, and obviously we have shared this now with everybody so they can see it. I see this featured tracks over here to the right, and what appears to be time markers. So were those songs that they detected in the video? If you could answer that.
Coco Noel, I think he meant to write Bubby. Yes, B-Lady, I'm always behaving. Part-time Permies wants to know if we have a past live show going over the sound editing in Filmora.
Yes, we do.
I thought we did.
We do.
Yeah, we do part-time Permies.
But we can certainly...
well, she's considering switching from Adobe Premiere next year to Filmora.
Okay, and I'm curious. I mean, Adobe Premiere is a far more powerful program than Filmora. I'll be very blunt and honest about it. But are you on the program where there's a monthly fee or an annual fee that you have to pay every year? I can also tell you that the learning curve for Adobe Premiere is a big steep mountain compared to Filmora. I wonder how long they are so you can match them the length of the video. Okay, so in other words, these are tracks that you wanted to add into the video. I guess, I don't know what you've done here.
The times are how long they are, so you can match them to the length of the video. You read that?
Right.
Okay.
There are a lot of different ways to modify that as well. I mean, if you have a song that normally plays for 2 minutes and 32 seconds, and you have a video that's maybe 2 minutes and 45 seconds, you can stretch that song, you can stretch the music digitally to the full length of the video, and chances are nobody would ever be able to detect it by ear. They'd have to be very good by ear. They'd have to hear the versions almost side by side. Conversely, you can also shrink that. Now, in a lot of our videos, we always play this clip. It's called Dutty, D-U-T-T-Y, on all of our opening videos. We've just kind of adapted that as our brand, if you would. And I have taken that, and I don't even care where it cuts off. If I have a 10-second intro, I'll just cut it off at 10 seconds. If I have 12 seconds, it cuts off at 12 or 9.5 or 6.5. I just stop it right there. If I want to pick it back up again further in the video, I pick it back up. And again, let's get Filmora up here at least once tonight. The clip that we did today that advertised this show. So that would have been this clip. And this, what I've just highlighted here now, that is the part that we have in all of our videos. And this one happens to run for, come on, I didn't want to do that. Let me go back. There I am tearing my stuff apart. I thought it would show me real quick, but it's not. Anyway, it is running for 15 seconds. And then I just stop it. I fade it out. Okay, and I'm sure everybody heard that it kind of drains down into nothing. And the way you do that within Filmora, just double click that section of the music and it'll bring up this, let's call it a control panel, where you can adjust the speed, you can adjust the volume, you can have it fade in, you can have it fade out, you can change the pitch, you can add an equalizer on it, you can remove background noise.
That's just what B-Lady says. What if you take a song and alter the sound with software, like take out vocal and change tone of music?
Well, that's fine, but if you're using copyright material, you still...
It's copyrighted no matter what.
That's right. That's right. So, just to demonstrate how this works, you obviously just heard that. Let me change the pitch without changing the speed. I'm just going to alter the pitch. I'm going to alter it as it's playing. I believe I can do that. Okay, just by changing the pitch, obviously a drastically different tone. I didn't alter the speed, because when you do that, it actually shortens the clip. But that will also, wait a minute, I'm going to make it 1.5 times as fast, and I'm going to leave the pitch where it was, so you can hear what it does. It's going to raise the pitch because it's running faster. Okay, so if we lower the pitch just a little bit, now conversely, let's slow it down. That'll put everybody to sleep. That's not the intent here. So, like I said, this is not the most robust editing tool for audio, but it has a lot of features. The equalizer has a number of presets within it. Of course, it also has a custom where you can set it yourself. There's limited number of frequency channels or sliders on this that you can use, but a lot of people would just be overwhelmed with much more. So it does give you, and I've always said, Filmora it's almost like a gateway, if you would, a gateway editor. It's not the best, but it's by far the worst. Does a lot. You have a one-time fee of $60, and you get all the upgrades from then on. So that's the reason that I recommend Filmora. Even Sherry has made a video 100% on her own that I didn't even know about.
It wasn't a video, it was a slideshow. I didn't have to do any editing.
Nevertheless, it was still put together as a video.
Yeah.
Complete with music. And trust me on this. She gets frustrated very easily.
Not me.
And still managed to do this.
Go ahead and laugh, Renee. Go ahead and laugh.
So anyway, I hope that some of the stuff we discussed tonight just makes you think a little bit, makes you try to maybe understand a little bit why you can't just go out to Google. Let's see where I'm at. And just go, I'm going to follow this. I'm going to specify birds. Oh, never mind. I just searched in YouTube instead of Google. Jeez. Let's look at images. Tons of pictures. You can't just go out and grab any one of these you want to use.
Birds, that was an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
It is an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you may find this to be an adorable picture. Doesn't mean you can use it in your video.
Yeah, Chad, it works for me this way, you know?
So, if you have any questions, please email them to us. As my disclaimer, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving you legal advice. I'm not telling you what you can and can't do. I'm just trying to open your eyes, do your own research. It goes so much deeper. We could be here for hours. I will mention the word Creative Commons. It's licensing you want to look for, and you want to look for the terms within those Creative Commons. Generally speaking, Creative Commons license allows you to use material that people have uploaded to various sites, and you can use it within your production. So, folks, it's almost 9 o'clock. Homesteading with the Cases should be on at 9. So we're going to shoot you all over there. Certainly appreciate each and every one of you being here tonight. Like I say, if we have any questions, email them to me. We'll try to take care of that.
Rob and I get honey first.
We've got a fellow in the room here, Chef Tovia.
Next Monday
night. We got him for at least an hour. I don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to make us something? I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. But
Aloha Quail. It's only 3 p.m. Wow.
So, all right. Thanks so much. Homesteading with the Cases, and thank you to the moderators. I don't do that often enough. You ladies do a great job. I think we have all ladies.
Yeah, Robin says she has her troll sitting right there by her computer, just in case any come up.
Well, I even have them. They're close by.
Yeah. Plus we have, I have 3 extras if we have to.
All right.
If we have to get new monitors.
Well,
4.
Here, I'll just.
No, I don't want on.
You don't want on?
Well, I am now.
No, you're not. But you can be. Ready?
I'm ready.
All right, there she is. The voice in the background.
The voice in the background. This way. See? We ever get more moderators?
We have trolls in waiting.
Plus, I sent one of these to Katie at Going Batty. She has her own troll now, since she's their channel troll slayer.
So
B-Lady has her troll. Everyone have a good night. Let's go over to Homesteader with the cases, and we'll bombard them.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We will see you all next week. Take care now.
Bye.